It's here. Warhammer Conquest issue number 66. The icon bearer. Yes. Opening time. Alright, let's see what we've got. Let's put that aside. Sprue check. I'm going straight into the sprue because I've been waiting for this guy. Okay. Got some detail work on there. I love the way that they keep on putting the holes in the pox. I know I'm used to it. It's like pot marks, weapon marks, whatever you want to call them, however you want to run them. That just looks great. I'm gonna have so much fun with that, and getting to see the detail beforehand. I always say this, just look at the sprue. Just look at the details, think about how you're gonna paint them before you just rush in and paint them. And you'll have a world of fun. Yeah, I know what I'm doing for this. I mean, that would be great to modify. Just have like the Pox Walker's body, or you know, the Space Marine's body here, and have that as like a weird tie. That would be awesome. Okay, base standard. I'm looking forward to painting that, so I'll get that together and we'll have a look. And I will use the Typhus painting method for this because I have to update all my models now to match that new kind of Plague Burst, Crawler Tank and Typhus. Otherwise, it doesn't look right. Everything else looks clean. Okay, let's get a magazine. So issue number 66. Colors, let's have a look, see they're working with the design work. $7.99 still. We have a focus on the model there. Nice contrast, orange and green. They say should never be seen, but at the end of the day, they stand out from each other so well. Even in nature, when you look like an orange tree, you know, you can see that there. They stand out from a mile. Food source, sustenance, life, warmth in the model. Lovely background. Yeah, okay, this is better. A lot better than last time. So let's have a look. We have Black Templars. We have the Renegades of Nurgle. That's interesting. Haven't heard that. Annals of the Space Wolf Craft World Showcase. That's interesting. Plague Marine, the build, the paint, and opening the warp portal, plus more Plague Marines. An updated data sheet for your Plague Marines with rules to add an icon of despair. Okay, so he comes with a unit. It's not an individual character. Alright, so we have the Black Templars. So what do we have here? We have archaic style warriors in modern day combat. These guys prefer swords and shields and all sorts, and they are truly zealots. They are just absolutely awesome. You want these guys on the front line. See, zealotry, melee combat, overwhelming assaults. They kind of remind me of the Blood Angels Assault Terminators, except these guys aren't Terminators and they're all just in for causing pain. Really good idea, really good concept. If you're into your Paladin, if you're into your Crusaders, if you're into your Chivalry Knights, I would say these probably represent the closest part of that in the 40k universe. There will be some others, but for me this is them. So we've got some iconography there, which thankfully they tend to be very similar. And we've got Crusade information, and this is really good. This is something they should actually have throughout this whole thing, heraldry. So I would love to see a page in Conquest magazine, or even a poster, with heraldry from all of the different chapters. So when you're painting up your ancients, or your Primaris ancients, you could use the banners that you see there. I know you're meant to paint your own story, but at the same time, you know, why not have a little something to start with? And they have a thing called Abhor the Witch. They do not like librarian psychers, and look, it's outlawed. Even there, they don't want it. I don't know what they're going to have in Psychic Awakenings. Maybe they're going to be immune to everything. Let's just hope so for their sake. So you got Renegades of Nurgle. Who are these? So these are the who? Just Renegades of Nurgle. Okay then, fine. So these guys, seems like they got mutations, mercenary style. Okay. So I thought there was some sort of special kind of, let's do this, we're going to be on our own kind of thing, but they just seem basic. Anyway, so you got the Cleaved, the Purge, the Deathmongers, and the Grey Death. Oh, they sound interesting. As for paint styles, I think these are so close to the Black Legion that you might be able to double up the models if you get super clever with it. I think the only difference will be the eye colour, but no one's really going to care if you turn around and say they're Deathmongers. So if you do have your new Chaos Warriors, you could probably get away with using them here. One thing to note, just looking at that, these are standard Space Marines, so they're not the Plague Marines, the Death Guard Marines, so you know they're all bloated and what have you. These are standard Marines, but they just work for Nurgle, so that's what that was about. Sorry, that's my bad. I hear people screaming down the internet, what's wrong with you, Spekd? Anyway, Annals of the Space Wolves. So we get to see their history, their lore. The biggest Space Wolf player that I know is Wolf Brother Mythos. Go check out their channel, the Frost and Fist. Absolutely hilarious, great Friday night painting material. They crack me up. So that one's for you. Also, they would let you know to paint or either drill your gun barrels. So I'm just saying it's all. Otherwise, they will mock you badly. Yes, there's nothing wrong with me mentioning other channels you can go and watch. I'm not a greedy YouTuber. So please just, you know, enjoy good content. I think it's important in my hobby. Okay, so we've got our sagas there, continuing stories. So if you're into Space Wolves, I'm not going to say anything because Frost and Fist will get upset. I'm not really a Space Wolf fan, but that's their speciality. Nothing wrong with them though. They will fight for the Imperium. Craft worlds. So when we're looking at Eldari, they've got their planets which they've kind of like populated throughout the galaxy. So before humans are around, these guys were around, and they populated everywhere. And they created lush planets for their own expansion, like pleasure planets, pleasure worlds, and just places. If you've seen like the Rick and Morty, where he had his own toilet and his own planet, it's that kind of thing where you have your own luxury to do whatever you want. The only problem is the race didn't expand to those planets, and a lot of them started to die out due to war, due to just basically just not breeding. You know, they're just long-lived, not breeding, no threats, and then massive wars come, wipe out a lot of them. Slanesh does her thing, or his thing, or whatever the thing is, and wipes a lot of these guys out as well, so they don't get to use as resources. So a lot of those planets sit there, and humans are busy taking them over. But they have some worlds where they've crafted to the point, or they're made to the point where they get to keep the soul stones and essences. So when they die, they just don't vanish off. They keep like their collective knowledge, if you want to argue that, together in a network, in a planet that they can all share. And it's not that they're individual bodies anymore, it's like a source of knowledge. And these little gems that they have on them, that you see there, they contain these souls. I think they're called spirit stones. And even when these guys die, some of them get absorbed, or they can access information. So Wraith Knights will have multiple versions of those to engage that machine and equipment. So you might have 3 pilots in one massive machine, but they're not physical beings, they're just the stones. You know, from what my friend has told me, from what I remember as well. So I'm not really an Eldar fan, but they got lots of different sub-factions there. And I think this one is the most common at the moment. I think they have a bonus to their defense at a certain range. So showcasing models. See, a showcase like this will make you start collecting an army, even if you didn't want one. Because when you see the potential of what they look like, and when they've been painted so well, you really want to give it a go. So I mean, like, I'm looking at the gem effects here. That just looks epic. I think that on any table, you just want to start collecting them anyway. So we have our speciality units there. Let's get that into focus. So just a bit of a showcase there. I think they've just recently released these guys in the Psychic Awakening box set. So there's a new box set. So you won't be getting a Dark Imperium, it'll probably be this, and it's got a couple of Eldari characters. Striking Scorpion, this not this guy, but the actual guy which has the Striking Scorpion 82. Got lots of battle reports, information, quite a cool guy for when it comes to YouTube. I know again mentioned another channel, but I never think you should limit your resource to one channel. I always think you should try and get as much hobby information, share it around, especially with channels, and that's been a good resource for me. But whenever I see these guys, I always think of that channel. Good piece of marketing there. Yeah, so we're getting some Wraith Knights there. They are bullet magnets, by the way. They're very kind of like, I wouldn't say like modern manga. These are like 70s style manga, so not like the power suits where it's kind of like hard angled, but almost the G-Force flares kind of style, if that makes any sense. For those of you old enough to kind of know that. You might know them as Firebird G-Force. So more info there. Sorry, waffling on like some old man. Not like is an old man. Well, I'm not going to say that, otherwise let's just leave it as that. So that's the icon bearer. Glue, snips, let's go. Simple build, few pieces there, straightforward, nice clean cut. That takes seconds to build. Painting, they don't have to kill themselves with painting. I am going to use a Typhus technique on this. It'll be quicker, it will be more stylized, and it'll fit in with everything. And even though I've painted some of my models like this before, I am going to go back and just literally re-sponge over it, and I'll do a video for that, show you how to get back your look to make them all have the same theme. So we've got our colours, our reds, Mechanicus, Camo, Dawnstone, yep, okay, no problems. Front, side, back. They're using a little tri-shell effect there. Nice, okay. So, what's the takeaway from that? Well, we're getting paint guides now completely, like from beginning to end. So it's good to see, but again, it's like you repeat the hash it of just repeating this over and over again, almost like my statements right now. I feel like from video to video I'm saying the same thing, but they are repeating this. I think at this point you can have a bit more of a challenge. I think they can kind of push you now, because this is really good. You get it on the table, you can play with this, and you could do this if you're being painted as this style, you're being well practiced, but you can start thinking ahead with different colors you want to use and really push it. And you could do a lot, even with the paints that you have, even mixing them will do a lot for you. So we're back to the Malignant Plague Caster by the looks of it. So we've got some more battle information. Portal opening, closes the rift before the end of the world. We do actually have part of a map here out of the 3 where it's dedicated to be in the middle with the appropriate items on there, so you're left over with the rest. Okay, what have we got? 3 battle mats, minimum power 30. You keep hearing minimum power. You can play the game with power, and when it comes to competitive play you use points, but again at this point, no pun intended, really you can get away with the power rating. So Death Guard, Malignant Plague Caster, 1 unit, 7 Plague Marines with an icon of despair. And Space Marines, 30 points, and you must include the Librarian. Okay, well, it is what it is, you'll figure it out. Again, it's one of those things where I can't tell you who's I think would win, because we don't have enough information on the points. And this is kind of good because it gets you used to not selecting your models for what the other person has, but what you think they might have. And when it comes to competitive play, or when you're playing against an opponent that you don't really know, you're not really going to know what they're taking. You're just going to have a rough idea, and you're going to have your own list and you exchange them. You know, just bring them to the table and play, and you adapt your tactics there. So let's have a look. 5 rounds summoning. So if the Plague Marine icon is eliminated or outside the summoning circle, the Space Marine player wins the game. Okay, just focus on that character. It's done. Take a Dreadnought. Okay, so Plague Marines, what have we got? War gear options. I wonder if this hasn't really changed anything. Icon of despair, so that's what we've got here. So rule there, units that win 6 of an icon despair must subtract 1 from their leadership characteristic. That is, Yeah, you're playing against Space Marines. They know no fear. They shall know no fear. They just get to re-roll morale. If the units are small enough as well, then they're not going to fail in morale. So it's a cool looking character, and I think it should be more like a hero character, like how the Gene Stealer cult has their own icon bearer. But otherwise, well, that's a bit of a letdown. My personal take. Okay, so we have the snipers for the following issue. We've already seen a lot of these already. I've got a few of these put together, so hopefully that comes soon. And we've got another repeat again, which is, it says their new terrain kit, but it's not really new. Alright, okay. We've done this before, we've got that painted. Have another one of those is good. I didn't buy 2 originally, so I might buy 2 of this issue. It's going to give me 3. I could have 1 to modify, because I could use both sides of this at like ends of like a barrel or container or something. Maybe like a wide can, so it looks like an engine or something. Make it more interesting. Okay, that issue's interesting. I'm going to put together the model, and we'll take a closer look. As you can see, he fits right in with the rest of the models now. That's really important for myself, and probably for yourself if you're trying to be consistent. Alright, so that was a model. That's the magazine. I'm going to go and put this away and have a little read of lore here that's in it. I'll try and focus in on the Space Wolves. Tell me what you think. I mean, personally, again, it's another one of these issues within this 4-issue time frame, which doesn't really hit very hard for me. Apparently, they will be making out when we get our repulsors, but I feel if we could have a little bit more in here, because this would have been in the box with your standard Space Marines. So this is kind of like taking a model out, putting it on the side just for you to get later. I don't know if it was ever kind of placed in the Hero Marines box set, the Hero Death Guards models. It might be, don't know, it's something to consider as well. But before I start off on that story, this has been Spekd. I've enjoyed my time. I hope you've enjoyed your time. Tell me what you would like to see here, because I think in substitution of this, we could have had something a little bit different. Maybe the first sprue of like one of the Chaos Demon or something. I think that would have worked better. A Demon Prince. That would have worked better for me. Either way, you let me know. This has been Spekd. PC out.